Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Oksana, and this is our regular event, Thursday lecture. Today, we are going to talk about social work programs. Social work is a challenging career choice and is for people that are seeking to work in a helping profession. The United States is the ideal location for a bachelor program or master program in social work, as there are plenty of opportunities to apply knowledge and skills gained in the classroom to real-world issues. Today, I'm glad to welcome our guests from Ohio State University, and they will share all information about social work programs. If you have any questions or comments, just put them in the chat, and we'll be glad to answer them after the presentation. So, the floor is yours. Amy?
Okay, it is good to be here and speak with all of you. As Oksana said, we are from the College of Social Work at The Ohio State University, and my name is Amy Soder, and I'm an academic advisor within the college. And I will let my colleague introduce himself.
Hello, my name is Q Twilly, and I am the MSW Outreach Program Coordinator for our Masters of Social Work program.
Okay, so our first slide here just shows you a little glimpse of everything that you could do within the social work program. So today you'll be hearing us speak about the undergraduate program, the Bachelor of Science in Social Work, and then also the master's program, the MSW, the Master's in Social Work. So this slide here gives you a good idea of the many paths you could choose to take within social work. So as you can see, there are many, many different options, and social workers work everywhere, ranging from mental health to working within community centers, schools, hospitals, working with veterans. I mean, there are so many different paths you could choose to take. If you want to help others, this is a great profession for you. And this here shows you a little bit more specifically career paths you could choose to take if you pursue social work. So you could choose to work in mental health counseling. I will not read each and every one of these to you, but you can see there are many different paths. You could choose to work as a medical social worker, so you could work within the hospital setting. You could choose to work with elderly patients. You could choose to work within domestic violence, international social work. You could work with couples and family and individual therapy, as well as working within a community. Or you could also choose to take the politics, public service approach and working to make change at, a state or a more, larger level. This here hopefully will give you some hope, is that social work is a field that's going to continue to grow. And so these statistics are from the United States, but it shows you that, they are projected, the path itself is projected to grow at least 9% from last year, so 2021 through 2031, which is much faster than other occupations. And then also mental health and substance misuse social workers are expected to grow about 20%, as well as the overall prospects look particularly good, especially if you're interested in the clinical social work path. Our bachelor's program leads you to sit for a licensure exam. So after you complete your undergraduate, your bachelor's degree, you could take a licensure exam to become a licensed social worker. So this here kind of breaks it down a bit more. So we are within the state of Ohio in the United States. So this is a little more specific to Ohio, but know that working within the United States, you can sit for the licensure exam and you can be a social worker, a licensed social worker with only your bachelor's degree. And then if you're interested in doing more of a clinical social worker position, so if you're interested in working within hospitals, schools, within completing therapy, then you will definitely want to go on to get your master's degree, which we are going to talk about here in a bit. So again, as you could see, you with just your bachelor's degree, you have many options, but a lot of our students also choose to go on to get a graduate degree. And these are some common paths that students take. So yes, you could go on to get your MSW, so your master's in social work, but some of our students choose to go on and get their law degree so that they can have an impact within law and politics. You could choose to use this as a foundation to go on to become a doctor or work within nursing, because you are going to learn a lot of great skills of working with people as you pursue your bachelor's degree. And then, of course, some students will choose to go on to become a physical therapist and an occupational therapist, or they may choose to just go on to any graduate program like sociology or criminology. But with that being said, please know that you can practice as a social worker with only your bachelor's degree. This here, I wanted to give you a visual representation of what it looks like to work through the bachelor's program. So we have it broken down into 4 particular years, autumn and spring semesters. But the main thing I want to highlight here is that once you start our undergraduate program, you will begin taking social work classes right away. So you don't have to wait until your last 2 years in the program to start learning about social work. Yes, Ohio State does have a general education curriculum, so you're going to take fun classes such as math and science and literature. So you're going to take a lot of other courses, but know that you will also have social work courses right when you start in our program. And this here breaks down the social work content at the undergraduate level. So you're going to be taking courses in ethics. You're going to take some research and statistics courses. You are absolutely going to take classes that help you to learn those practical skills to work in the social work profession. So you're going to learn valuable communication skills. You're going to learn how to interview clients, to work with families, to work with groups, to work more within the community or organization. You'll take a social justice or multiple social justice classes, depending on what path you pursue. And then, of course, diversity courses, mental health and substance misuse. You will have social work electives, and that's where you could choose to take classes in an area that you're specifically interested in. So as you saw at the beginning, there are many paths you can take with social work. And so it allows you, the elective category allows you to take courses in areas that you're interested in. And then another great thing about our program is in your final year, you will do a field placement and you'll have a seminar along with the field placement. And so what that means is we work with you and your area of interest, and we match you with organizations in the community. And you will work as an intern within those organizations. And again, we match you based on your area of interest. And so you will work approximately 15 hours a week at that organization, both fall and spring semester. So again, not only are you learning the practical skills in the classroom, you're going to be able to apply them within an organization. This here gives you an idea of the many different electives we offer. So as I had said, we do have electives within social work. So depending on your area of interest, you could choose to work within child welfare. You could work with poverty. You could take more courses about family caregiving, HIV and AIDS. There are so many different elective courses you could take just to give you more information about your particular area of interest. And I already started to cover this, but as I said, at the end of your program, you're going to do a field placement. It will equal 420 hours. But again, if you break it down over 2 semesters, it's about 15 hours a week. And we at Ohio State, our field placement office works with over 800 social service agencies. And so this here just gives you a brief idea of the different agencies we work with, but know that we work to match you with your area of interest. We have a special program at Ohio State. So if you're interested in working with students, with clients in the child welfare arena, then you could choose to do this. We call it UPP, but it's a university partnership. And this program offers specialized coursework and training within the child welfare area. And so the nice thing, not only will you have specialized classes and work through it with a specialized group of students, but it also gives you a kind of like fast track to full-time employment. So your field placement will be within an agency working with child welfare, but they also guarantee you employment upon graduation. And then not only do they guarantee employment, but if you stay at that agency for at least a year, you get a $5,000 employment bonus. We also have an honors program that you could choose to pursue. You will have more research-oriented courses, but if you are interested in research or interested in going on perhaps for a PhD down the road, this could be a great option. I won't go into the specifics because that's going to be a lot of information for you today, but know that we do have an honors program where you can work closely with faculty and take more research-specific courses. And we also have a Go Social Work, so our global option within social work. So it has, you would take the Social Work 5004 course, which is an international social work course. And so we would also help find a field placement with an international focused organization. And then there's multiple options of how to complete this I guess, extra special program. You could choose to do education abroad. You could choose to do a thesis with an international focus, or you could do individual studies that focus on, global culture, I guess a little bit more of an individualized approach. And so a lot of our students do plan to go on for their master's degree. And the great thing about Ohio State is we have two different programs that allow you to smoothly transition into the MSW program. So if you come to us as a new first-year freshman, so you come out of your high school and come directly to us, you can opt into what we call our 4+1, our Bachelor of Science in Social Work and Master's in Social Work program. And so there's nothing special you have to do other than to opt in. And what that means is you would complete your bachelor's degree in typically 4 years, and then you can go on and complete your master's degree in just 1 more year. So 3 semesters. And there are some, you must make sure you get a B in your major courses, keep a 3.0 GPA, but know that you could come out of Ohio State with your master's degree in 5 years. The other program would be more if you choose to transfer into the program. So perhaps you start at a university in Ukraine and you transfer to Ohio State. We do still have, it's a very similar program. You do a special application for it, but know that you can also complete that master's degree in 1 year. Just to give you a bit of information, so when you enter the university, you would come in as a pre-social work major. And then once you complete prereqs, in which I'm an advisor and the advisors will walk you through, we meet with you every semester to help you plan your way, but you do have to declare your major. So you apply to the university, come in as a pre-social work major, and then you also declare your major. It's a quick form online. We try to remove the barriers to entering the major, but know that then after you submit that declaration form, then you are considered a social work major. And this here breaks down the prereqs. Again, these are courses you'll be taking your first year at Ohio State. You'll be taking a social work course with a survey course with the advisors, which gives you a good overview of Ohio State, the College of Social Work. We talk to you about all the many resources that are available to you at Ohio State. And then you have an introduction to social work class, an introduction to social welfare. You will take a lifespan development course. And then you have a race, ethnic, and gender diversity GE, and we offer our own course, Social Work 1140, that you could choose to take. You'll complete your writing GE, as well as the intro courses to sociology and psychology. And so again, these courses are all taken, in your first year, and then you're able to declare the major. We do also offer specialized minors, so you don't have to complete a minor along with your undergraduate bachelor's degree, but know that it is available. And within social work, we offer a substance misuse and addiction minor, as well as a child abuse and neglect minor. So if those are areas of interest for you, then know that you could pursue a minor in those areas. But also know that Ohio State has many, many minors. So there may be other minors that you're interested in pursuing, and that is completely fine. And then if you choose to complete a minor, then the electives within your major requirement are waived. This here is obviously a slide for the application process this year, but I still thought it was good to include for you to understand the deadlines. So when applying to Ohio State, there's an early action deadline of November 1st, but then you can also still apply through February 1st. The common application is on our website, as well as transfer dates are included. I included the link if you want to explore more about admissions, for international students. So we have a lot of resources that will also work with you. But just to give you kind of an idea, you're going to typically apply in the autumn to start the next autumn. And then this slide here just includes some additional resources, from an international student perspective. So if you're wanting to understand basic costs, you're wanting more detailed information for freshman first-year students, we also have an Office of International Affairs that has a lot of great resources for you also. And that is all I have regarding the undergraduate program. And here is my contact information. But I guess my main takeaway for you would be to know that, yes, Ohio State is large, but we do have so many resources available to help and support you along your journey. And so I will now let Q begin to talk about the MSW program.
Thank you, Amy. So for our admissions timeline here for our Masters of Social Work program, our application is currently open. It opened on September 10th, and we do have a deadline for fellowships. So for fellowships, it's not a separate application process. This is just on the application process, you will click or opt in and say you would like to compete for a fellowship, but your application must be submitted by December 1st. We do have a scholarship application deadline, which is March 1st. You have to be a admitted student in order to apply for any of our scholarships. And our final application deadline is July 1st. So here are some needed items for your application. You will need we require a preferred grade point average of a 3.0 on a 4.0 scale for most recent highest degree earned. Applicants who do not meet the 3.0 GPA will be reviewed for admissions on a case-by-case basis. So if you do not have a 3.0, do not worry. We'll talk a little bit more about that later in this presentation. And I will help you, find ways you are able to secure a seat in our program. You will need 10 credit hours or 14 or 15 quarter hours of social sciences. So these are courses such as psychology, sociology, political science, anthropology, and economics. If for any reason you don't know if you meet this requirement, you can always feel free to send your transcript to me, and I'll give it to our admissions office, as they are more than happy to look at transcripts before our students apply or prospective students apply to our program. You will need transcripts from each college or university that you have attended. Unofficial transcripts are accepted for the online application only. However, to be admitted, you must submit your official transcript from your institution's registrar office. You need a resume or a CV. We do not have a preference. It's completely up to you. So you can either submit a resume or a CV. 3 letters of recommendation. 1 from an academic professor is highly recommended, but it is not required. And 2 from professionals who are not relatives. Recommenders will automatically be sent a link to upload their letters after you submit your application. So I do want to emphasize that your recommenders will automatically be sent a link to upload their letters of recommendation after you submit your application. And that could take 2 to 5 days. You will need a personal statement. A prompt is available on the online application, so feel free, if you're interested in our program, to start the online application. You do not have to submit in one setting, so you can go in to get a sneak peek to see, what is being required, and with that, a personal statement is asked for, so then you can begin working on that. Last but not least, if you're interested in our ASAP program, also known as our Advanced and our Terminal program, those applicants must also submit their field evaluation and learning agreement in order to apply for that track. our application deadline. So a lot of times this chart can confuse a lot of students, but I'm going to try to make it, less complicated. So if you're interested in either our ASAP program or our traditional program and you want to start in either the summer, it's best that you apply. If you're a domestic student, it's best that you apply by April 1st. Or if you are an international student, it's best that you apply by March 1st. Now, if you're just interested in our fall start, you would like to start in the fall, the international deadline is June 1st, and for domestics is July 1st. What does our online program look like? So if you are admitted to one of our online programs, either ASAP or traditional, you will complete your coursework 100% online and your field practicum in person at an agency in your local area. And we do offer asynchronous and synchronous for the courses. So you have the option of taking courses asynchronous, meaning you would do it, at your own pace, as long as your assignments are submitted by its window period. Or you could do synchronous, meaning you will meet in real time via Zoom with your professor and your classmates, or you could do a combination of both. Our MSW curriculum. So our curriculum helps students to learn best practices about their chosen area of emphasis. Every admitted student must select an area of emphasis. The ones that we offer are mental health and substance misuse, children and youth, aging and health, and community and social justice. So each student will select one, and then they will be assigned seminar courses that are directly related to the area of emphasis that they chose. And just before the question comes, just because you choose one area of emphasis does not mean that is the population you have to work with upon graduation, and neither does it mean you have to select a field practicum in that area either. This is just a way that you can uniquely create your plan of study. So here's the idea. We do like to provide examples of what our curriculum could look like. So if you did our 2-year traditional MSW full-time option, you could start in the autumn. We do offer multiple start dates. So students are able to start in the autumn or summer. So say you just started in the autumn, you would take foundational social work courses, which are is presented your first semester, and that's 14 to 18 credits. Your second semester, you would do 16 to 18 credits. Your third semester is 16 credits, and then your fourth semester is 16 credits as well. And throughout here, you will see that you have advanced practice methods courses, you have a field preparation course in your first semester. So in your first semester, you would then start to talk about, where do you want to be placed? What's your interest? And you will have a field coordinator. Every student admitted to our program will be assigned a field coordinator that will help them find a field placement in their area that they reside in. And then you will begin your field practicum in your second semester, continue on for your third and your fourth semester for a total of 63 credit hours. For our advanced standing ASAP program, you can complete that in 3 semesters. You can start in either the summer or you can start in the autumn. Nothing really changes besides when you start and when you finish, but it will still be 3 semesters. So say you started in the summer, which is our traditional track that's always been around. You will take 2 foundational courses and an elective for a total of 8 to 12 credits. And in your second semester, you will that is when you begin your field practicum, as well as some social work courses in your area of emphasis seminar. So this area of emphasis seminar is tied to the one that you chose when you were admitted. So that will be your first course there. Then you have your advanced practice courses for a total of 18 credits. And then the last semester, you will still be doing your field practicum, as well as your applied practice evaluation course. Then you have your final area of emphasis seminar course, and then you have 2 advanced practice methods, and that's up to you. It could either be a micro course or a macro course, and that is a total of 43 credit hours for our ASAP students. ASAP students complete 43 credit hours, and the traditional program completes 63 credit hours for the MSW program. I always get asked the question, how come ASAP students take less credit hours? And the reason why ASAP students take less credit hours is because they already have a bachelor's of science in social work. So they gained a lot of that knowledge in their undergrad degree for their bachelor's degree. So this advances them. So now they will be taking less courses that are a little more advanced for them so that they can obtain a master's degree. And for the traditional program, that is 63 credit hours. And that's because we're trying to get those students caught up to what bachelors of social work students have already done. So they'll just take a little bit, a little more courses. So our program is designed to fit your life. And we don't just say that to say it, it is true because it's student friendly, it's maximum flexibility. You have individualized plan of study. No student plan of study will look the same because you have that flexibility and creativity to do that, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. You have coordination between courses and field. Like I said, you have an MSW program office and you'll be assigned an academic counselor, as well as we have a field office where you'll be assigned a field coordinator. So you have those two people to really help you throughout the process. We do have the 100% online option where you can either take your courses asynchronous or synchronous, or you could do a combination of both. We have the school social work track, and this is for individuals who are interested in being school social workers. And upon, doing that track, each student is granted a certificate. So if there's something that interests you, it would be best to look into the school social work track. We have the MSW and PhD option. So the one thing I like about the MSW and PhD option, if you know you want to do a PhD in social work, it's probably best that you do the MSW and PhD joint degree because it's one application process. And if you get admitted, then you have the opportunity to complete both degrees together. And a fun fact, every student that's admitted to our PhD in social work program is offered fully funding and a stipend. So that's another thing you won't have to worry about. You will get 2 degrees, in this track, as well as dual degree options. So we are tied to a few other programs where students are able to obtain 2 degrees. What I like to say is like a buy one, get one free in a way. So you'll get 2 degrees at the cost of 1. So you have city and regional planning, public health, and public administration. The one thing that I really, really love about our dual degree options is each student, when they choose to do the dual degree option, you will get an academic advisor in our program as well as in the other programs. So now you have extra help, and you can't turn down extra help when you have the opportunity. So I love the idea about our dual degree and also the idea of buying one, getting one free. Our field placement process. So this can be really tedious. So I'll try to go over this without explaining too much because I don't want to overwhelm you all. But for the 2-year traditional full-time option, students will complete their MSW1, which is their first year of the MSW program, and the MSW2, which is the second year of the MSW program at the same agency. Of course, there was some issue going on in your field placement where you just are not, being if you feel that placement is not a good fit for you, you do have the opportunity to switch. But we like to keep our students in the same placement just so that they can grow with that organization or agency. So in the first year of the MSW field placement, students are placed in human service agencies oriented towards a general social work practice. And in the second year of the MSW field placement, students are completing an advanced placement, and it is designed to permit students to achieve greater autonomy and to maximize skill development and the integration of theory and practice. Students may elect to begin their second year field hours in the summer semester following their first year in the program. So a lot of students typically like to do this because it would decrease weekly field hours for the remainder of the second year to approximately 16 to 20 hours weekly. So I love to provide a little chart here that can give you an idea. So for the traditional MSW program for your first year, in your first semester, you will do no field hours. You will begin field in your second semester, and you'll be taking 16 hours a week for field, which is a total of 224 hours in your first year. And in your second year, you will do field hours in your third semester and your fourth semester for 24 hours a week for both semesters for a total of 672 hours that year. And combined, you'll be completing 896 field hours for the entire program. ASAP full-time students. So this is our advanced and alternative program. So if you were to do our bachelor's program and you do the 4.1, then you will be easily transitioning into our ASAP program where you'll begin your master's in 1 year. So ASAP students have obtained their general social work practice experience during their undergrad education. Woohoo. So ASAP placement permits students to maximize advanced skill development in their practice areas of interest, and it begins the second semester. So students will spend 24 hours a week in field placement for 2 semesters to meet field hour requirements. And for part-time students, we do have the part-time option for ASAP and for traditional students. So part-time students begin field placement during their second year in the program. Depending on the student's individualized course plan, the student will spend approximately 16 to 20 hours a week in field for multiple semesters to meet field hour requirements. And then when the time comes, if you decide to choose us, you will have the ability to speak to an advisor for specific course plan options. The placement process timeline. So students will be contacted by our field office regarding beginning the placement process. Students are not permitted to arrange their own field placement. We do have an exception for out-of-state students, which I'll talk a little bit more about that later as well. So for the availability for field placements are to be completed during 2 to 3 work days during normal business hours. That is Monday through Friday between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. To complete field education, employee students must arrange their work schedules to accommodate weekday time and field placement. Additional field education hours may be approved for weekends and after business hours with appropriate supervision available by the agency. So for more detail, you can always feel free to look on our website where you'll be able to read the policy and go through our frequently asked questions as well. Career services. So our career service program is designed to help prepare and assist social work students and alumni with their career paths and to partner with employers to strengthen our social work community. Our services include individual career counseling, resume and cover letter reviews, interviewing skills, networking opportunities. And we have something that I really, really love, which is called the Career Closet, where our students and alumni are able to utilize this to obtain professional clothing for their field placement or job interviews and things like that. And it's at no cost to the student or alumni. We also have shadowing and formative interview opportunities and more. So students who are interested in the Career Closet, they will contact the director of this, but you can email them at cswcareers@osu.edu. And also, just to add a little bit more into that, the Career Closet, if you are an out-of-state student, no worry, you'll still contact and we'll just get it delivered to you. So for any reason our students need any professional clothing, they'll just contact and we'll get it mailed directly to the student. And that's the end, but I something just came to mind. I did forget to mention that for our MSW program and our ASAP program, we offer full-time as well as part-time. So for the ASAP program, our full-time is 3 semesters. And then if you want to do the part-time, you could do that in 2 years. For our traditional MSW program, we have a full-time, which is 2 years. And we have a part-time 3-year and a part-time 4-year. It will be the same curriculum, same process. You'll just be able to stretch out your courses depending on your unique situation.
Thank you so much. It was so detailed, like so much information. And actually, I had some questions, but after the presentation, it seems to me I didn't have like a lot of them. But still, I have just a few. Okay, so if it's okay, just to answer some questions, it would be wonderful because actually, our students they always wonder about the same information. Yes. So first of all, do you have any special funding for international students? Like, and what is the amount of this funding? So you mentioned some like scholarships, yes, and that they can apply for these scholarships, but like maybe what is like general funding they can get?
Great question. For our MSW program, we don't have any unique scholarships for international students, although that is something we're working on. But we do have a large donors who donate money to our program. We are able to give our students, generous scholarships. And every student admitted to our program have the opportunity to apply to those scholarships. It is the same scholarship application for everyone. And that's the opportunity to get funding that way. There are a few other ways students are able to get funding for our program, such as assistantships. So although the College of Social Work typically does not award those to our students, but every master level student are eligible for assistantships. And they are encouraged to contact other departments on our campus, on our university campus. And I know that sounds kind of complicated, but it's as simple as calling another department and saying, hey, I am an MSW student. I'm interested in getting an assistantship. Do you have anything available? And if they do, then they'll send you that associateship or assistantship application to them. There are also fellowships. However, a fellowship is funding provided from the university, which includes tuition and monthly stipend for 1 year. In order to compete for a fellowship, it's necessary that the application process is completed by December 1st. Fellowships are only available for full-time in-person students, so you must be in person on our Columbus campus to get a fellowship. Again, fellowships it is tuition with a monthly stipend. You also just brought something up that I forgot to mention. Every student interested in our program is offered a fee waiver. So none of our prospective students have to pay to apply to our program. That is $60 for domestic students, but it's $70 for international students. But thankfully for our great leadership, we have waived that fee. And if that's of your interest, feel free to email me and I will be sure to give you that fee, the application fee waiver.
Yeah,
And when it comes to the undergraduate level, I'll be honest. So I'm an academic advisor. So my area of specialty is the College of Social Work and the curriculum. We do have scholarships that we offer within the College of Social Work. I am not certain that there are any that are specifically international focused, but of course, if you have that question, I can follow up and get the answer for you. But as the university as a whole, so when you apply, you would also fill out what we call a FAFSA. So it's a financial aid document that then will determine your area of need. And then that will determine if you would be eligible for scholarships. And being that it's Ohio State, I would assume there are definitely specific scholarships for international students. Again, I'm more than happy to put you in contact with that office. But within the FAFSA, so we don't have assistantships like Q does, but there are federal work study positions. So depending on your area of need, you may qualify for something like that. And that means that you could work on campus and earn money as part of the work study program.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. And one more question about tests. Yeah, so you mentioned all requirements, and it seems to me you haven't mentioned any tests. Yeah, or maybe I missed the information. Yeah, like
Yes, international students do have to take a test. Our admissions office will have more information about that. And I believe that has been, I don't want to use the word found to be easier, but there was a way that we were able to make that, to alleviate that barrier for international students.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the situation is like this, that in Ukraine, our students can't pass any tests. So they need either go abroad or if there is an opportunity to pass the test online. So it seems to me there is only Duolingo that is only available right now in Ukraine. So, but we have some situations like real when universities accepted students without any tests, like through interview or something like that. So
yeah, I believe at Ohio State, like you would take the TOEFL. So that would be the main test. I will say that during COVID, that we have been test optional when it comes to the ACT or the SAT. So as of right now, those are waived. They're still in the process of determining what that will look like for the following year. But as of now, those are waived. So it would be more like the TOEFL exam that you would take.
Right, and for the master's program, Duolingo is an option as well. A lot of our international students opt to take that. And as it pertains to the GRE, we do not require our students to take the GRE at all. We actually do not encourage it. So I do want to make that known. Please do not even look into the GRE if you're interested in our program, because we will not look at it, and it's not worth the money or the time to even think that will make a difference in your application, because we are not looking at it, we are not requiring it.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, and maybe the last question for you, so like the general one, could you please describe the ideal perfect student for the program?
The ideal perfect student in our program?
Yeah, ideal student for the program, for social work program.
Good question. So I know for our MSW program, and I'm sure it's the same for our bachelor's program, we look at things holistically. So I would say the perfect student of our program is someone who is passionate about social work and social justice. So if your passion is aligned directly to that and you want to be a part of the change, I think that would make you a perfect student for our program. And here's a little, little tip in our application process for the personal statement, there is a question about implicit biases. Sometimes we get applicants who say they don't have any, and to be honest, those who feel like they don't have any, we do not consider them for admissions. And the reason why we ask that question, because we all have implicit biases, and we're not asking our question to judge or to deny you admissions, but we're asking that question to see, if your biases will ever come into effect if you're working with a client or a patient. We want to make sure that you're able to bracket that out. So I would say an ideal student in our program is someone who is aware of their bias and passionate about social work and social change.
I would say the same for at the undergraduate level. Again, it's that passion for social work, the passion for wanting to help others, to break barriers. If you're passionate and want to help others. And I think another aspect that's important is that you're also taking care of you. So social work is obviously a helping profession. And so that can take a toll on you. So just to make sure that you are also taking care of yourself and keeping yourself the most healthy that you can be. But again, the passion for helping others would be at the forefront.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think in our reality and in our world these days, this profession will definitely be popular among students, and I hope so that one day you will have Ukrainian students as well. So for now, I would like to tell thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Q. It was a great presentation, a lot of information, and if you don't mind, if we have any questions from our students, I will reach out to you just like to ask the specific information about application process or anything else. Okay.
Yes, please feel free to send any students interested in our MSW program to me. To add to that, I do offer one-on-one meetings. So any student that would like to meet with me one-on-one to talk about their unique situation or to just be guided a little more, I offer that via Zoom or telephone. That is always offered. And we do have MSW info sessions 2 times a month. So students are able to sign up for that. And that is more on a larger span where we will have a more full out orientation about our program and what to expect.
And yes, same. You can absolutely reach out to me if you have any questions about the undergraduate program.
Okay, thank you so much. So thank you, dear viewers, for being with us today. If you have any questions, you can reach out to EducationUSA Ukraine, and we will definitely be glad to answer these questions. Oh, actually, we have the last one before the end. So do you place students in Veterans Affairs centers during study in the university? Good question.
Yes, we do. Our field office, that is available in our field office. We have successfully placed many students at the VA. And one thing to note about the VA, which I do love, is oftentimes the VA do offer payment for interns. A lot of times that is not available with field placement, but the VA, that is available there.
Thank you so much. So for today, we are done. Thank you for one more time for joining us today. Thank you for being with us. And dear viewers and guests, join us next week. Thank you and goodbye.